What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yours truly, Kendrick McKnight here, back again with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Man, my first time ever being live on Facebook. I am live on Facebook and YouTube. I try to do TikTok, but gave me a little problems right before time to get on here. So I'm gonna do that maybe another time. But yeah, in this video, man, we're gonna be talking about John Cena. It's all about John Cena, my goat, my hero, one of my, I guess you could say, celebrity heroes in life. Is officially retiring tomorrow night, and I've been in the fields all day. You know what I'm saying? Just the realization that one of for me personally, the greatest of all time in within the wrestling business is going to be retiring. The fact that he's legitimately retiring, he said time in and time out that he's officially done after tomorrow. It's surreal, man, because I remember telling a story on here where he was legitimately the reason why I got into professional wrestling, into WWE. I would just flip through the channels and just happened to come across a guy just coming out with jean shorts, baseball cap, talking about hustle, loyalty, and respect. Had a crazy spinner, beautiful belt. Talking about you can't see him. Like, who is this guy? What does he do? And I caught on real quick onto who John was and wanted more and wanted to see more. No pun intended. I wanted to see more of him, and so much so where I legitimately hated every single person that John went up against, from the Randy Ortons of the world, the Edges of the world, Umaga, Great Khali, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, the list goes on and on. I hated all these guys, CM Punk, right? Just because they went up against my hero. They went up against my guy. And I hated them all, and so man, in this video, man, this is like a farewell thing that I have going on for me personally to John, and just showing my appreciation, what kind of impact that he had on me in my life, whether that's personally and also professionally. John is a very, very wise individual. If you just watch his interviews and just how he moves, and just how the mindset for the business is very, very cool. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, also sharing my top 5 John Cena matches. I think one of them will be kind of like a head scratcher for some people. But it's my list. It's my list, and just my favorite moments of him throughout his 23, 24-year career in the WWE, and so on and so forth. So, man, let's get into it, man. Friday Night SmackDown comes on in another hour, so I want to not speed this up, but just get into it, right? So, yeah, man, I got into WWE simply because of John. Simply because of John. Just his persona, and just this the hustle, loyalty, and respect, and just how he created a movement of you can't see me. Uh just his aura, bro. This overall aura, just how he carried himself in the ring, his matches, of course. And man, like you felt it as a fan. You felt that energy, you felt that vibe, you felt a way. Like when that music hit, like you feel something, right? As a fan, you feel that energy, right? You feel that vibe. And whether you like him, whether you hated him, neutral, when that music hits, you are on your feet. You know what I'm saying? You're reacting. That's the entire game plan. right? As professional athletes, right? You try to go after that reaction and wanting something to go off, right? Wrestlers go off based off of getting those reactions, whether they're booing you, whether they're cheering you. That's the entire idea. You're getting a reaction. And with John, man, it was instant. It was instant with him. You know what I mean? Like I said, whether you cheered them, whether you booed him, you felt some kind of way towards John. And for me, man, there was never a time where I legitimately hated him. You know, of course, there was moments throughout his time where it's like, okay, he shouldn't have won this match, or okay, they're kind of going over the top here. You know what I mean? But overall, man, like it's John, bro. Like, what do you expect? But man, like John was just that guy for me, man. Um, Man, I'm gonna try not to cry here, but yeah, this is surreal for me. When Taker retired, it's like I kind of like understood, like, okay, you're getting up there, champ. Like it's kind of you're getting up there. It's time to go. Like, of course, I felt it, but this is different. You know what I'm saying? Taker was that guy for me. Taker at one point in time was my goat. And even when he retired, it's just like, okay, I understand. I get it. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do, man. Your pride and your ego wants to keep going to forever, but your body says no. And so, like, I was more understandable for him, but this is different. This is different. You know what I'm saying? This is John Cena. This is John Cena. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. But man, like it's surreal. It's surreal, man. So I'm definitely gonna be tuned in tomorrow. Definitely gonna be tuned in. And what better way to go out with one of the best that's going on right now with Gunther? I know a lot of people are complaining about Gunther being the one to, I guess, end John Cena's career, and so many other names like The Rock could have been the one. They could have worked something with AEW with Edge being the final opponent for John, or um, Roman Reigns being the guy to end John Cena's career, or Brock Lesnar, Cody, right? The list goes on and on. But I feel like having a younger talent like a Gunther, who's arguably the best young talent in the WWE going on right now, what better way? He ended Goldberg's career back at another Saturday Night's main event, and he's going to end another Legends career, which is crazy. He's going back to back with it at the same show. Um, so yeah, man, I love the idea of Gunther being the one. And even though the tournament was cool, we got to see the returns of Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, or whatever you want to call him, Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, whatever you want to call him. It was cool to see them get those pops. It was awesome to see guys like LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, even Jey Uso get opportunities to go further in the tournament. But when this idea of the tournament came along, and I saw the people in it, I knew Gunther was going to win. Gunther was already an idea for me, just as a fan, to be the one. And so when they came up with this idea with the tournament, I was like, okay, you got to fight for it, I guess. But it was always going to be Gunther to me. And so, man, like I'm just excited to see how the match goes, how long it will be, and just how far they're willing to go with his last match. They're going on last. That's obvious. I saw something about them going first. I knew that was Cap. I knew that was Cap. You know what I mean? Like it would be. It's going to be a great match between Cody and Oba. It's going to be a great match between Soul and Bailey, and the tag match with AJ, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and I forgot who his partner is, Leon Slater. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be a phenomenal match, no pun intended. But John and Gunther has to be the final match, no question. This entire show is based off Cena's last match, and what better way to cap it off with the man himself, having his final bow, having his final run out to the ring, and just ovation to the Washington D.C. crowd. Um, Man, like I'm just excited for him. He's always hinted out retirement, but to finally see it is like, man, like I'm just in awe, in awe, you know. Um, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. But John Cena, man. John Cena, bro. My favorite moments of John. Um, Obviously his debut, going out there, we get Kurt Angle making a name for himself. Um, who could forget that entire run with him and Edge, what I'm saying, back in '06, '07, '05, right? Their whole feud for the WWE Championship, and during that time where Edge was really just getting out there on his own, and he needed that one person to kind of like, he needed that baby face to really push his heel bad guy persona over, and John was the perfect person, and Edge was the perfect protege for John at that time, being the huge baby face, the top guy in the company. And what better way to go off against just a slimy, just arrogant guy in Edge at that time. And leading up there to their matches at SummerSlam, Unforgiven, um, Royal Rumble, um, you know, and of course, Edge, cashing in the very first Money in the Bank cash in, Edge doing it on John Cena at New Year's Revolution 2006, and the rest was history for their rivalry. You know what I mean? It was amazing to see. You know, man. Obviously, 17 world titles. 17. Never seen 17. The match itself, it was okay. It wasn't better than their SummerSlam match, but Cody and Cena at WrestleMania 30, not 30, but 41 was good. It was good. It was a good match. It could have been a lot better. You know, um, their SummerSlam match blows their WrestleMania match through the water. But at the same time, it was it was an amazing sight for John Cena to win the 17th title as a heel where no one ever thought he would ever be in that persona ever again. He's been a good guy, babyface for so long. Never been heel, um, outside of the basic thugonomist, right? That whole era. But to see him as a bad guy in 2025, teaming up with guys like The Rock, having that visual of knocking Cody out with the belt, not once, not twice, but three times. Um, and having that visual with him and Rock, Travis Scott, who I thought was totally unnecessary for that. But at the same time, it was a great sight. I feel like they didn't capitalize on his heel turn as much as they should have. With him having such a tight schedule, only like 30 something dates at that point when he turned. There's not much to capitalize on that. You know what I mean? Had a few appearances to do promos and stuff like that. I feel like to get a full heel turn over, you had to have it going for at least 6 months, 7 months, maybe up to a year for it to be solidified. And they didn't capitalize on it. You know what I mean? He was only heel for a good, what, three, 3 months, four? And even within those 3, 4 months, it was only selected dates. So like most of his matches throughout that time, well, that he was a heel, it was only like a good week and a half, 2 week builds to the matches against Randy Orton, CM Punk, the one off with R-Truth, um, uh, even the face off was with the face offs with Cody leading up to WrestleMania. It was good. It was good. It was good stuff, but it just didn't hit all the way. You know what I'm saying? So just the visual, how it was set up for the heel turn was great. It's just the run itself from Elimination Chamber to that SmackDown before SummerSlam was good. It was solid. Um, it was okay, but it was what it was. As fans, it would be something that we will debate till forever. How Cena's last run could have been, and his retirement tour, and how better it could have been, right? And how better written and more dates could have been um, out there for him to do. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, favorite moments, man. Obviously, him winning the 17th. The match with Randy, it was dope. It was cool. It was something that we wanted to see for a very long time. One more time, John Cena, Randy Orton, arguably John's biggest and greatest rival. Everybody goes back and forth with him and Edge. It's a tight race there, but I'm gonna slightly go Edge there because they truly needed each other, Edge and Cena, right? And there were it was the definition of a nemesis that they both needed. Um, Cena or Randy is kind of like Kobe versus Braun. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the top dog between these two top dogs? But Edge and Cena was poetry in motion. Like, they needed those matches to get each other off. You know what I mean? And be able to factor in who their characters were, even during the time and even after, right? And so that's why I say Edge is Cena's greatest rival in my opinion, right? And so, man, it's awesome to see, very very awesome to see, man. So, man, my favorite matches of John's favorite matches. I got my top 5 right here, man. It was a tough list. It was a tough list. Very, very tough list for me to do this, man, because he's had so many bangers throughout his career. And this comes from a guy that people say that couldn't wrestle, 5 moves of doom, and he's just not a good worker. And man, I got 5 matches here that just solidified his career, in my opinion, and that he's a great worker. You know what I'm saying? And so I got 2 honorable mentions. Pretty much they're like 6 and 7, 6, 7 in my list. You know what I mean? And so 7, I will have to go with Cena Rock, number 1 from WrestleMania 28. Just the build up, just the hype, And the fact that two greats from different generations are going one on one once in a lifetime. The promos felt truly real because it was real. Like they had true backstage heat and just like back and forth. And to put it out in the ring for our entertainment, it was amazing to see, man. Obviously Cena losing that match, like did I see that coming? Yes and no, because I remember watching that in real time at my home, and it was just like, wow, okay, Rock won this in his hometown, and right then and there, I knew like, okay, this isn't going to be once in a lifetime. Like Cena has to get his get back, and sure enough, 1 year later, they did the rematch. The match was it was good. It was okay. It wasn't obviously not better than the first one, but I understood the story and the redemption storyline of Cena, adding real life stuff into his story on TV and putting it out there. Like, this is the redemption tour of Cena getting back to where he belongs on top, defeating one of the greatest of all time in The Rock. Um, and adding the WWE Championship into it just made it even more obvious on Cena winning there. I felt like that was crazy. I felt like that match, just like the first one, sold itself. Like they did not need the WWE Championship at all. And ending CM Punk's crazy reign was just criminal, absolutely criminal. And for The Rock to win that was just whatever. It's one of those things, right? Um, but man, yeah, like that's my honorable mention at 7 and 6. I would say this may be a crazy pick. This may be a crazy pick, but Cena Styles at the Royal Rumble 2017. It's not in my top five because one of their other matches is in my top five. Um, Amazing match. Everybody says this is their best match throughout their trilogy. And I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that with the WWE Championship on the line. Seeing again his get back from losing to AJ at that prior year's SummerSlam against AJ. Um, what a match! What a crazy match that they had. Um, Cena coming into this, can he win his 16th? Can he win the big one more time and tie Ric Flair's record? And be that guy once more. I love the story there. And then AJ Styles being the heel that he was at that time, and talking his stuff and still backing it up because he's phenomenal. That chemistry is crazy. Has always been crazy to see, two guys who were the top dogs in two different companies at the same time, TNA, WWE, two guys who has two different styles. Again, no pun intended. AJ is a high flyer, whereas Cena is more grounded, more ground and pound. For them to have the chemistry that they do in the ring and showing their styles and and capitalizing on that, it's like poetry in motion. Um, and like I said, the story was there. Uh, yeah, Royal Rumble is 6 for me. Their match at the Royal Rumble is 6. But my top five John Cena matches of all time. This was a tough list, like I said, man. But going number 5, just based off of nostalgia. This was the first WrestleMania that I've ever seen. This is the first WrestleMania that I watched where I got the DVD and I used to watch it over and over and over and over and over again. The very first WrestleMania that I watched from start to finish was WrestleMania 21, where Batista in the main event defeated Triple H for the world title. Uh, Edge, I spoke about it before, Edge winning the Money in the Bank, the very first Money in the Bank, started the show off with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio having a phenomenal match to start off the show. You know, who could forget Piper's Pit with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then the debut of Carlito. It was a great show, but man, my fifth match of my list of favorite John Cena matches is JBL defending his WWE Championship against John Cena, his second WrestleMania. Uh, WrestleMania 20 was John Cena's first, defeating the Big Show in the start of the show for the US title. Then the following WrestleMania 21, defeating JBL for the WWE Championship and getting his first ever title. Um, it was just it, it wasn't the greatest match in the world, but it was just the moment for me. You know, a young guy finally shutting up the just the prowess of JBL. He was on demon time throughout his WWE reign, and just defeating guys Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, um, Eddie Guerrero, right, Undertaker, and having the Bastions on Lennon Brown with him, Lennon Jordan, excuse me, and man, he was just like that that not redneck, but like just that guy that just like thinks he's above everybody, but he proves it in the ring every single time. Like JBL during that time when he was WWE champion, leading up to WrestleMania 21, like he was on legit demon time. He was just destroying everybody. Like I said, beating guys like Eddie Guerrero, beating guys like Taker, Kurt Angle, throughout that entire era on SmackDown. And for a young guy like John Cena to come in, Big Show also for John Cena to come in, a young guy just got into the business, not even 2-3 years, and defeating him on the biggest stage in the world in sports entertainment was just amazing to see, man. It was the start of the rise of John Cena, man. And then later on, he would get the spinner belt, and start that regime. And but yeah, man, it wasn't the most memorable match of all time, but it was just the moment where he just cleaned house and he defeated the undeniable. He defeated the loudmouth of JBL. So John Cena JBL WrestleMania 21 for the WWE title is number 5 on my list of top 5 WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, but just overall matches of John Cena's throughout his entire career. And the following WrestleMania, not WrestleMania 22, but 23, um, his match with HBK, Shawn Michaels. We talk about like someone who had instant chemistry with John and just amazing matches, whether it's a WrestleMania stage or a Raw or a SmackDown or just a pay, pay-per-view. Their matches has always been fire, and for this, it was one of those things where um, Cena was still not accepted to be that guy in the company, right? The following WrestleMania 22, Cena was going in as the champion, but still like the underdog because he wasn't accepted amongst the crowd. He wasn't that guy. He got the Roman Reigns effect where, fans was pushing this guy and the fans rejected it, and so even as the champion, as the WWE champion, he still wasn't adored, right? He still wasn't like that guy. And even in going in WrestleMania 23, going up against a guy like HBK. HBK. Um, Going up against a guy like HBK is like one in a million, one of the greatest of all time. For me personally, Shawn Michaels is in my top five ever, and so but that's everything included: mic work, aura, um, you know, just in ring ability. But if we're talking about in ring ability straight up, like Shawn Michaels has got to be number one. And so, Shawn Michaels can have like a match with a book or a shovel or a rake or a vacuum cleaner, and it can be the greatest match of all time, 5 star easily. And so their WrestleMania 23 match in the main event for the WWE Championship, and at the time they were tag team champions, world tag team champions on Raw. Um, Amazing match, absolutely amazing match, man. And so, um, man, it was cool. It was awesome to see, and and so it was an amazing match, crazy match, good match, fantastic match. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, but yeah, it just wasn't better than their Raw match, April 23rd, 2007 on Raw, and that's number three, back to back Shawn Michael matches in my top five with John. You talk about a match where it was it was hard hitting, and it showed that Cena can hang with one of the greatest. It showed that John can actually wrestle, and it was during that time where like John was, you know, still getting that heat from the crowd that he can't wrestle or can't do this, can't do that, 5 moves of doom, and all that stuff, right? But it showed that night. It showed that he can go. It showed that he can, you know, go up against one of the greatest. And even though he lost that match, it shut up a lot of people at that time. And I remember watching that match as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Um, didn't really gravitate towards it as a kid, of course, because you're not really understanding of the business. But as I got older and kept rewatching it, it was just, man, like it was amazing, amazing match. It was crazy, and so, um, but yeah, their Raw match on 2007. I think they were like, overseas. I think they were like in the UK or something like that. Um, Crazy, but not crazier than the second match that I have on my top five John Cena matches. And I talked about Edge earlier and how crazy the chemistry and how much the characters of John Cena and Edge had, and why they needed each other at the time that they did. Um, my second favorite match of all time with John, it has to be the match with Edge at TLC, not TLC, but Unforgiven, in a TLC match in Toronto, Edge's hometown. Man, I remember having the Unforgiven DVD, and just rewatching that match over and over and over again. Um, Cena again going into enemy territory, um, and just getting booed out of the building, middle fingers everywhere, and just going in there with his held high. You know what I mean? And so, like, man, this match was just amazing to see. This the story was there, and just the story that they told in that match, where it's like you have this hometown kid who's the heel here, but like he's working as the babyface. And he had babyface reactions, obviously, because he's in Toronto, his hometown. But just paying attention to his entrance, like you can tell he was soaking it in. Like in that moment, it wasn't Edge, it was Adam, coming out there, getting that ovation from his home people, um, it was dope, man. And obviously the spot to end the match, getting the then fu off the ladder into the chairs to end tables. Uh, man, like it was a sight to see. And of course, Cena, getting the title down, man. It was great. It was an awesome match. Loved it. Start to finish. The story was there, like I said, and then adding the lead up factor of, you know, getting involved and all that stuff, man. It was cool. It was dope. Super dope. But it doesn't top my favorite match. My favorite match of all time with John Cena. I mentioned it earlier, 2016 SummerSlam, AJ Styles, John Cena. I don't know what it is about this match, but people keep putting the Royal Rumble match over this one, and I respect it. I respect it, but this match meant so much to me personally because AJ and Cena has always been inspirations to me, just as people, not even as professional wrestlers, just like inspirations based off of where they come from, how they live, and how they persevered into their careers, and not allowing the outside noise to get into their personal lives and how they moved as professionals. You know what I'm saying? AJ Styles, someone who is country. You know what I'm saying? Like born in Carolina, raised in Georgia. Like you don't have to be from a major city. You don't have to be 6'5" or 6 or be 200 or 300 some pounds to make it. You know what I'm saying? In the wrestling business, um, like you can block that noise and be different and be unique and be that person that is, you know, all of these things, but at the same time, your in-ring ability um, does the talking for you. AJ Styles isn't known for his mic work. He's known for his high flying abilities and being able to um, persevere and make again similar with HBK, Shawn Michaels, like having you can have a match with um, a pool stick and have a great 5-star match. That's how great AJ Styles is. And his time is coming up too. You know, his time is coming up as well, and I'm not looking forward to that either, man. Um, but yeah, their SummerSlam match was just top tier for me. Two guys that I've been looking up to for a very long time, going head to head for the first time on a grand stage like SummerSlam. I think they were in New York that year. I think Brooklyn, and it was just it was amazing. Like I said, man, for guys that has two different styles to go head to head and have a match of the year for me personally that year. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, like it was so cool. It was so cool to see that. John, being the guy that he is, you know what I'm saying? Now allowing moments that, not allowing these moments to get in the way of who he is as a person, not allowing these moments to get in the way of uh, where he wants to be in his career. If he listened to the outside noise, if he listened to the doubters, there would be no John Cena where he is now. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to continue to persevere, for him to continue to push through and having the dedication to work on his craft um, in ring, and John has always been amazing on the mic. That's a part of his persona that he never really needed to work on. Like he always had it on the mic. You know what I mean? But it's just in ring. You know what I mean? But yeah, just to see how far he's come and having bangers in his final year with Logan Paul, with CM Punk, with AJ Styles at Perth. Um, what could have the could have been great match with Brock, even though it was pretty much a squash. Um, you know, Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, like that was man, like that to me right now, that is up there for match of the year in WWE 2025. Like him and Cody at SummerSlam. Like I said earlier, it blows their WrestleMania 41 match in the water. No competition. But within this retirement tour, it's neck and neck with the Cody match at SummerSlam or AJ Styles at Clash in Paris, as far as the match of the year. Not just in the tournament, not just in within the tour, but just entire WWE in 2025. It has to be up there for sure. Those two matches, but I'm leaning more towards Cody. Um, but yeah, the Styles match at SummerSlam was just top tier, amazing, classic, 5 star, and just for me personally, just two people that I've been looking up to for a very long time to clash for the first time on a grand stage was just amazing to see. It was chef's kiss. But yeah, that's my top five, bro. That's my top five, man. Um, and John Cena, man, I'm not looking forward to him to go, man. But you know, um, like all things, man, it must come to an end. My childhood is leaving me, man. My childhood is leaving me. Undertaker's gone. Batista's gone. You know, um, CM Punk don't have much left. Randy Orton don't have much left. Like I said, AJ Styles next year is hanging it up. You know, um, I've been back and forth with Brock for a while, but he's a legend. He's a legend, and so I had to put that respect on his name. You know, Brock is he's a legend. So like whenever his time is up, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Definitely gonna feel some type of way because it's Brock. He's been a premier athlete for a very long time, and he's put on bangers as well. You know, I had the privilege and the honor to see Brock one time. Even with John, like I seen John one time, and it was just magical. You know, so much so that normally when someone comes out when I go to WWE shows, like their initial entrance, like I phone is out. But when John came out in that show in Charlotte, North Carolina, like I wanted to do it old school. Like my phone is in my pocket. Like I wanted to enjoy this moment. Yes, I cried. Yes, I was in the moment. Yes, I was just like, man, like my hero is literally right here. Crazy, wild. And so, man, like I wanted to soak that moment in, seeing John for the first time, no phone, just as a fan, man. Like I'm looking at this guy, like this is real. He's real. Crazy. Um, but yeah, like Brock definitely has my respect. I will forever feel like he shouldn't have been the one to end Taker's streak, but he paid his dues. He's Brock Lesnar, man, and so like I miss Brock, man. But oh yeah, all the legends are leaving. All the legends are leaving, man. But it's all about just appreciating the moment, appreciating what these guys have gone through, putting their bodies on the line, and just being able to entertain us for 20 plus years, And so, John Cena, man, I hate to see you go, bro. Hate to see you go, man. But you got to do what you got to do, man. I understand. I respect it. You're getting up there in age. Um, similar to Taker, like I said, and your mind Pride, ego say you can do this forever, but the body says no. You know what I'm saying? But man, this is my farewell to the goat, the greatest of all time. I talked about my favorite matches of his, my favorite moments throughout his career, and what John Cena meant to me personally. Um, you know, John Cena is more than a um, wrestler. He's an icon. He's a legend, and like I said, man, he was my hero. Is my hero, and for him to retire his way, like, there's a lot of guys, man, that was forced to retire based off injuries and all this stuff. And people, talking their talk that he's making it like a spectacle. It's all about him. I mean, why not? Like I said, so many wrestlers were forced in retirement based off injuries and couldn't go out their way. And here is, the greatest of all time doing this and giving back to the business, giving younger talent an opportunity to shine and having that notoriety. So once John leaves, here's an up and comer. You know what I'm saying? Um, Having guys like Obafemi, having guys like Leon Slater, Javon Evans, so an opportunity to shine on a show that's pretty much dedicated to him. It's amazing to see, man. That goes again back to John's character, who he is as a person, as an individual, and man, like it's so cool. It's super dope, super dope. It's cool. I love it, man. I love John Cena, man. He means a lot to me, man. And um, yeah, yeah. Salute to the goat. Salute the goat, man. Um, Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Um, my first live on Facebook. It was cool. This wasn't my first time being live on YouTube. This was, I think, my second or third time. But this is cool, man. But to my next time, to the next one, it's her.